Yo, what's up, everybody? It is Monday. Great to be with you all to kick off another week. And thank you guys so much for hanging out early for the pre-show, the roll call. Let's get started by saying hello to our friends around the internet. Starting over on D Live in the Mosh Pit, we got Truth Teller 101 over there, Lino Vincent, Q-Boys, and Lucy Anders. What's up, guys? Great to see you. Great to be with you. Shout out to those of you watching on Rumble as well. Hit that thumbs up button if you haven't already. I see Joe Elaine, of course, keeping it comfy over there. Liberty's Great Awakening, Spiky 999, and PNW Sasquatch. What's up, guys? Hope you're all having an awesome start to your week. Shout out to the Cloud Hub, Twitter, Odyssey, YouTube, and Twitter, Cloud Hub, Odyssey, YouTube. I think that's everybody. Shout out to all you guys out there on those alternate platforms that we don't really pay much attention to, but do appreciate your viewership. And of course, the very best place to take in a show and the only place to watch the second half of this show, pilled.net, the comfy bunker. Shout out to all of you guys out there hanging out on Pilled. Jump in the chat if you haven't done so already. We'll give you a little shout out. And then, yeah, we'll be on our way getting this show officially started at the top of the 4 o'clock hour. Who's in there first today? Curious one. What's up, Jenny? Lyle and Jenny, great to be with you guys today. Lightspear, Lance, D. Richard, good to see you guys. Floyd, Due Diligence, what's up, my friend? We got Patriot 714 in the house. Happy Monday. Joe Elaine, of course, keeping Pilled nice and comfy as well. Thank you so much, Joe, for all your hard work. Modding, HL Paco, welcome. Good to see you, my friend. Truth Teller 101, Spiky 999, doing some double dipping. Floyd with a bison and Wagyu smoked sausage cookie. Fuck, that sounds good. Thank you, Floyd. Appreciate you kicking us off with the gold pills. My man, 2A, Freedom Rider, repping the 412. Let's go, 2A. Good to see you, my friend. General Buford, Space Cookie, what's going on, guys? Pip's mom checking in from abroad in Wales. What's up, Pips? McKinnon 88, welcome. Pat McFly, Lizzie B in the house as well. R. Harold, thank you for the cookie. I really appreciate it. Let's see. We got Cali Patriot 14 hanging out with us today. Laura Y repping the 412. Let's go, Laura. We got Barb Robbins chilling today. What's up, Barb? Molon Labe, Kaiman checking in from South Africa. Always great to talk to you over the weekend there, Kaiman. Hope you're having a wonderful start to your week. Roy, Stones and Bones checking in on the West Coast. Great talking to you this weekend as well, Roy. Hope you're having a great Monday. Let's see. Filter Dog 1 in the house. What's up, Filter Dog? How you doing, my friend? Great to see you. PDX Patriot. Welcome. Don Ritchie 17 in the house. We talked to Filter Dog this weekend as well. It was great talking to you too, Filter Dog. Don Ritchie 17. Thank you for the cookie. PDX Patriot. Great to see you. Norm Hang 10 Alien Surfer in the house. What's going on, my friend? Good afternoon, Mr. Gerardo. Hope you're well. Sammy Lou, how you doing? Great to see you. My man, Oilman 94. What's going on, dude? Good to see you. I hope you're having a great Monday. Tweety 52. Great to see you as well. And who else have we not welcomed into our little operation today? Snow Bunny 68. How's it going? Hey, Ashley, Smash Memes in the house. How you doing today, Ashley? Hope you're having a good one. We got Cabin Girl for Trump and looking Fan Cactus out there. What's up, Fan Cactus? Aurelius Locke and Jeff Den. What's up, guys? Great to see you. Cynthia. What's up, Cynthia? Trump Red Pill, Mixed Picks. True Patriot Blood 1776 in the house. What's going on, my friend? Unchained 01. Great to see you. Baseman Cap 1Q. Great to see you as well. Treasure Life in the house. What's up, Treasure Life? Always in Texas. Too quick. Good to see you. Welcome, 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 you guys. Good to see so many of our friends kicking off the week with us as you all pile on into the show. Make sure you hit that red pill button for us. Repost the show as well. Both are super important. Always be sharing the links to grab that link right off the browser, text it to your friends, put it in your social media, all those little things that go a long way to support the channel. And the best part is it doesn't cost you anything to do it. Shane RQ, welcome. Good to see you. Jumping back over on Rumble, I see Live to Fly 454 out there. Good to see you. Dread Quarters and General Buford out there as well. What's up, guys? Starwalker 77. Good to see you over on D Live. All right. Well, there's Drunk Pinata popping in. Oh, he's in the waiting room too. Very cool. All right. Well, I'm not gonna waste any more time. It's 3:59. We're close enough. We could start the show. So sit back, relax, and we'll be right back. What's up, Gorilla P? Good to see you, man. Captain Longboarder too. What's up, my friend? Welcome, 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 you guys. All right. I don't know about you all, but I'm ready to get this show underway. FVT, good to see you. Hope you're having a good one. All right, time for the intro. It is 4 o'clock now. We've successfully filibustered to the top of the hour. Congratulations, everyone. John Smith, Sheaves Coin, good to see you all. All right, let's get it going.
We will make America strong again. We will make America wealthy again. We will make America proud again. We will make America safe again. And yes, together, we will make America great again.
Y'all for tuning in, Patriots United, doing what we gotta do to win. Be addicted, the MS7, now we're moving in. And once we take over, we won't ever move again. Where we go on, we go all, I say it with pride. No, we won't run, we won't fall, we're right by your side. The demons have taken hold, but none of us will abide. Stand strong, stand bold, that's how we'll survive. 412 is the production, Monday through Friday, deplorable discussions. We're making it hard for the deep state to function. Every time they switch up the narrative, we debunk it. Adol Nero is the power that's controlling the fight. With all the patriots behind them, cause we're all in this fight. So many rhyme for so long, but we're giving them sight. Trapped in the world of darkness, but we're bringing them light. You may even find yourself in a different life. A lot of us have, and honestly, that's perfectly fine. Because exactly where you are at this moment in life is where you're supposed to be at this moment in time. It's all by design, the patriots are holding the line. They must have lost theirs, thinking they're controlling our minds. So many trapped in mental prisons don't know they can find. They're just slaves in the system till the roles are assigned. That's sad, the good news is that we're waking them up. They have monopolies on minds, but we're breaking them up. Everything you thought was news, they were making it up. When we ascend, all the tyrants won't be making the cut. Let them all burn in the hellscape they create. We the people already mapped out our escape. We hold each other by the hand as we all elevate and go to a different place. They can never get chased. When I look into the future, I can see that it's bright. When this history is written, they will see that we're right. We formed our own community and the circle is tight. But I expand the circle with every word that I write. The pen is sharper than the sword when you wield it with might. Why do you think they try to kick us off all the sights? These people hate America, punish us out of spite. We are the beacons of hope in the darkness of night. So let's go, strap in, yeah, get ready for the ride. Watch the water, we're witnessing the turning of the tide. Feel the passion and the fire that you got burning inside. Take the narrative they're feeding you and turn it to the side. We're alerted to the lies, replacing with the truth. We know the plan they devised, they're invading the youth. Now we're only sending vibes, just start lacing our boots. These demons all weaponized. Now we're raising our troops, now we're raising the roof and sounding the alarm. Remember that it's always darkest before the dawn. Life is a game of chess, they want to use you as a pawn. You're only useful until you're not useful, then you're gone. But not us, we're on the right team where we belong. Everybody is invited, so come follow along. We refuse to say things are right, knowing they're wrong. Adol Nero, take the mic and take flight, cause it's on.
And now, straight from the Steel City, it's your host, 412 Adol Nero.
Yeah.
All right, what's up, everybody? Happy Monday. We are back after a long holiday weekend. It's great to be with you guys to kick off the week. My name is Adol Nero. It is November 27th, 2023. My OG crew is riding shotgun with me for the next couple of hours. Let's say hello to the fam. TN Homesteader, great to have you back after missing you the last few shows last week. And glad you're safe and sound. You had quite the adventurous road trip going Thanksgiving weekend, huh?
Yeah, happy Thanksgiving, and I guess it was overall. Uh, I had to do a little MacGyvering on the front end of the car. Nothing duct tape and screws won't fix temporarily.
Well, I'm glad no one was hurt.
Yeah,
That you made it back safely, because that could have
yeah,
been really ugly.
it could have been. My wife was quite hysterical at first. Um, well, for those that are not aware, um, I was on a country road going to my sister-in-law's house, and for some reason my car decided to fly, and it's not a DeLorean, and hit an embankment head on after spinning out, and wheels popping off the rims and all that kind of stuff. But nobody was hurt. Um, it was quite interesting. I spent most of the time getting in and out of the car, telling people, "No thanks, I'm okay. I'm waiting for the tow truck. I'm waiting for the tow truck." 6 hours later, because the tow truck was an hour and a half away. The nearest tow truck was an hour and a half away. That's where I was, and so no, everything worked out okay, other than having to wait for the tow truck, and then being towed to my sister's, on a flatbed, being
Mhm.
towed to my sister-in-law's house, and that was cool. That was after that, and everything went out okay. And then I spent a couple of days trying to get the wheels back on, making sure everything was okay, and duct taping the front end of the car until I could get home, and then taking it to the body shop to see what they tell me. Meanwhile, my sister-in-law is going, "You need a new car. You need a new car. You need a new car." It's like, anyways, but all's well that ends well.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Well, I'm glad you're here and I'm glad you're safe, TN. And yeah, looking forward to kicking off another week with you here on
Oh, I got to tell you, may I tell the story of the first guy that pulls up?
Oh yeah, please.
Yeah, because I told you via text.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting out in the car and out of the car, right? And as you can imagine, the car, believe it or not, here's the weird part. I go to the front end of the car and I'm going, what the heck is this red thing sticking out inside my grill, right? Inside the grill of my car. Going, there's nothing red in the front end of my car. It's a gas tank. It was a 2.5 gallon gas tank inside my car, and go, what the hell is this? Anyways, so this guy pulls over after the accident. He pulls over and he comes up, walking up, and he says, "Are you okay? Everybody's okay." He turns out to be an EMT, right, from Ohio, and he looks at the back end of my car, and I have a sticker of the Punisher, red, white, and blue Punisher, right? America First on one side, and WWG1, WGA on the other side, right? Where we go one, we go all, right? He looks at it and he says, "Where we go one, we go all." And I looked at him, I go, "What?" He said, "Yeah." He says, "That's cool." And then my door's open, and I have the extra magazines for, I'm carrying, so I have the extra magazines on the door, the pocket of the door, so to speak, right? He looks at that, he says, "And you're carrying too, that's cool."
Gotta love it.
He was in a non out there in the middle of the freaking nowhere. He's in a non. That was cool, but it was really nice because there was a lot of people that stopped by. The sheriff stops by, um, does an incident report. I'm sitting there frantic, one phone on the phone with AAA at the same time, blah 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 blah. Right? He says, "Oh, you got a lot of things in your hand, And he said, "Not a problem." He says, "Do you have your driver's license?" I couldn't find my wallet, and my wallet was sitting on the dash, and I thought I had left it on the seat. Couldn't find it in my wallet. He goes, "Oh, that's okay." He says, "You do have insurance, right?" "Yes." You have your registration. I said to my wife, "Get the registration." She's frantic, like looking for and
Yeah.
she couldn't find the registration. He said, "Oh, no, that's okay. That's okay." It was pretty funny, but a lot of people, this is how they roll around. All kinds of people stopping by, no matter what, and making sure that there was nobody hurt. So that was cool.
Very cool.
But
Yeah,
the
that's
first one, an anon from Ohio. You can't make this shit up.
nice little God wink there for
Yeah,
sure.
exactly.
Yeah. Well, TN, like I said, I'm very glad that you're all good and you made it to your destination safely eventually, and you made it back. And
Yep.
yeah, you have
Thank
to
you.
let us know what kind of new vehicle you decide to get.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, I hope my wife didn't hear that.
All good. All right. Let's say hi to drunk Pinata as well. Pinata, happy Monday, sir. I didn't see you live today. You take the day off?
Yeah, it was a lack of stuff and just yeah, just needed the day for work stuff. So um yeah, we're probably doing it'll be a little bit off schedule this week, but I'll let everyone know. If you're just stay tuned to your notifications, follow me on the various social platforms, you'll get some notifications. But yeah, it was had some interesting stuff over the weekend as far as what I was covering, and most of it was these people are getting cocky, and it's going to be hilarious when it doesn't go their way. I'll tell you that.
So what are you referencing when you say they're getting cocky? I mean, because
Some of
they've
them are
always been arrogant in a lot of
well,
ways.
they're getting cocky, and the like Jesse Dolomore, he's like, I used to think that Trump wasn't going to go to prison, but now I do, and I'm just like, delicious. Thank you. I needed that chuckle. It it's yeah. We just kind of did a general like review of different types of did a section on propaganda, just start seeing how other people are seeing it, if it some of the terminology or the more proper ways to refer to things are kind of present. It was
Mhm,
interesting. One of the old methods of leafleting, so they would drop stuff from airplanes, right? There's these pamphlets or leaflets,
mhm.
and I was like, that sounds kind of like what you would see in what Twitter was doing, or in the internet and social media was doing, is that you weren't looking for something, but something was presented to you. And I was like, think about like memes or whatever content they have curated for you is kind of like that pamphlet idea. And by the end of it, the guy who made the video that I was watching made the same comparison. So I was like, oh, like, I guess on the same page with that. I guess that is kind of true, and this is kind of why they kind of freak out about Twitter, because they're being leafleted, and with this propaganda essentially in the form of positive memes about Trump or MAGA or whatever, and then people are getting triggered by that because it's having an effect. It's having a positive a positive psyop effect,
Right. Yeah. I
and
could
so they're freaking out about that. And so I just thought it was interesting to considering the difference in the technology, but the concept is the same. One's paper, different media, right? Different media.
right. It's like a 21st century version of that.
Yeah, so that was interesting. And
It's
then
kind
I
of
just go ahead, Dan.
no, interesting that I was just watching a small video on America's Digital Shield, which is a new website that is up there actually busting Google in doing that, and pushing the let's say the left narrative in the same way you're speaking right there, the digital leaflet, so to speak, by
Mhm.
the articles that they're pushing to people.
Exactly. Yeah,
Yeah.
and similar to if anyone has an Apple device, they put these news alerts that go out if you have them turned on or whatever. Sometimes you don't even have them turned on, and they just show up, and it's always from what I see, usually negative about Trump or just in general, like it's very very left leaning, and it
Mhm.
just gets pushed, and so that's a similar type of thing.
Yeah, I remember when I had those turned on, or every time you get a new phone, they're like auto turned on. They're so obnoxious. The
Yeah,
Apple,
especially what the content is. Yeah, it's like
yeah, it's completely absurd, or just completely biased in one direction. Um, Pinata, you mentioned that you had something about the J6
mhm.
account. You wanna go ahead and lead us off with that, and then we'll do sponsors.
Either order you want to do it in.
Yeah, go ahead. We'll do that first, and then we'll get into sponsors after the fact.
Okay, so if you're wearing headphones, I will try to make sure that the audio is not too loud, but it will start off with something being kind of loud. So just brace yourselves. I'll turn it down and then I'll turn it back up if we need to. So this is a video that Mr. Reagan was circulating. If you guys don't know, he's like a larger content creator on YouTube, and I'm not sure exactly where this came from. If this came from the archives that are being presented by the committee, or where this came from in particular. But it's what I think is probably pretty close to what could be considered a compilation here of the inciting incident. So he plays this compilation here, and then he has this other portion. And I think that I hadn't seen this before, and it even shows what could be and what really riled up that first group of people. And it may not necessarily have been just agitators, but just the wrong people that that would react in such a way to create that inciting incident. So let's just check this out here. So here's the guy, he's walking around just throwing the grenades indiscriminately. You saw that. It's a little bit out of order. I believe this is from that group that's been working on this documentary that they're going to produce about the timeline. I think it's like Stop Hate is one of the groups. And then there's another one about the January 6th timeline. I think that's where some of this stuff is coming from. So this is another area right here. So this is right at that area. And so you have this guy kind of indiscriminately firing. And then there's a couple other ones that they show where they're firing with pepper balls.
Warnings about chemical munition. I need the less than lethal team position above me to start deploying. Launch!
And then he blurred this out because it's a YouTube video, so he had to blur it out.
Hey, walk up to the front of the line. Come here. Show these cops what they just did to you.
People are climbing up there, and a police officer with a blue helmet?
Yeah. He could have killed him.
Was he badly injured?
I think he was injured pretty badly.
Who suffered severe foot and spinal injuries and broke his ankle when he hit the ground some 20 feet below.
If they'd never thrown the concussion grenades, if they'd never used the pepper spray, this wouldn't have happened. It was a peaceful protest. They started firing at us before anybody did anything to them. We were not rushing them. There was no advance on them. They just started throwing concussion grenades and pepper spray.
All right, now look, I am not an expert in crowd control, but I suspect that throwing stun grenades haphazardly into a massive crowd like this, it's not going to disperse them. It's going to piss them off. There doesn't seem to be any kind of plan or strategy here. It's just inflict pain. It just seems like the plan is not to disperse the crowd, but rather to piss the crowd off. The left claims that the Fed presence in the crowd that day is a crazy conspiracy theory, despite the indisputable evidence of this. But thankfully, people are no longer buying it. In April, Rasmussen conducted a poll in which they asked likely voters, how likely is it that undercover government agents helped provoke the Capitol riot? Now, even among Democrats, a majority believe that it's likely. Among Democrats, 59% believe it's likely. Among independents, 62% believe that it's likely. And among Republicans, 74% believe that it's likely.
Now, here's the part about this, especially with crowds, and we're going to get to this clip in particular what I'm talking about, where you don't have to have agitators be the first. Agitators or competent human sources may have permission to engage once it happens. And so when we hear people like Ray say that they were not involved in orchestrating that, I mean, okay, well, maybe the Capitol Police was. It seems as though there is something, and even amongst the Capitol Police, they had some of these people saying these guys set us up. What are they doing? There's something going on. I mean, so
yeah, the people know. Even Democrats know. The feds provoked the protesters. But you know what's interesting? It never occurred to me that the Capitol Police were intentionally agitating the crowd. All right, and look, you might think that that's a naive take, but you see, I knew that the feds were involved from the very start. That was always the primary theory. And most of the January 6th police there that day, I still believe that most of the cops there were kept in the dark as to the plans of Pelosi and the other January 6th PSYOP planners.
There's a video that has police officers on the west side by the fountain yelling at each other, and one of them says, "We're hurting innocent people." And they say, for every one we're pulling out, we're making 10 angrier.
You're hitting with a lot of pain defiance when you're hitting innocent people.
And not only that, we're taking out one and 10 of them are getting angrier. We're multiplying them by hitting them.
They set us the up. That's what they did. They set us up. They set up 64. Oh, absolutely. And then they asked you to come 2 hours later. They set us up.
Notice who these guys are, right?
sorry, continue, go ahead.
Notice who these guys are. Back it up just a skosh and look at the back of their jackets.
It's Metro, right?
It's Metro Police. They're under Bowser. They're not Capitol Police.
And he said they were asked to come 2 hours later.
Yeah, these people are Bowser's people.
Mm-hmm.
No, we ain't got.
No, nobody here was holding that
We ain't got a thing. They stand up for.
I think that only a few high-ranking officers were told what was going on that day, or at least they were told what they needed to know in order to get the desired result that day. But they were understaffed for that protest. That's been said a million times. And a lot of cops, just generally, cops are conservative. The vast majority of cops are conservative. And a few of those Capitol Police officers who ended their lives, supposedly, after January 6th, I looked into it, and they were Trump-supporting Republicans. So it could be that they were going to blow the whistle on what really happened on January 6th. I mean, maybe that's why their lives were actually ended. Who knows? It's a possibility. So my point is that I think it would be difficult to recruit a large number of Capitol Police.
And you wouldn't necessarily need to. So the point being, I think his main point is that you didn't have to have everyone in on it. You just had to have the right type of bad decision making. And so here's the full video that I had not seen before. I don't know if anyone has seen this before, but what you're going to see, and I'll let it play, is that you see this guy right here gets really angry and starts waving around the flag at him. And it seems like it's the first time that and this guy's holding them back in the center of the screen. And then, but actually there's one more piece before we get to that, because I think he shows it.
This is the grand.
Yeah.
Yeah, good. I'll let you finish. I'll let you take it. But now I have seen this. This is crazy.
But considering where this is, where they're at on the steps, this is before they're up in that area where you have the arches with the wooden whatever they were doing, or repairs or whatever was going on there. There was something there, right? There was on the arches.
Yeah.
Of some of the cops myself, and I discovered this.
I'm ashamed of you. I'm ashamed of you. I'm ashamed of you.
This older woman, probably a grandma, who appears to be standing very casually, not at all threatening, she is brutally pushed down these concrete stairs. And she could have smacked her head. She's an older woman. This officer could very well have killed this grandma. And for what? For standing too close to him. I was pretty shocked to see this. And naturally, this did agitate the crowd. But then, this grandma, she walks back in defiance of the cop, and she stands there, and once again, he pushes her. He pushes her one more time down the steps. And this time, the crowd really loses it. And look, I've never seen this footage before, so I think I might be the first one to post this. I originally posted this on Twitter a few days back. So this is actually potentially breaking news, new footage. Okay, so now this pisses off the crowd, so they do rush the police. They do push the police back. There is a break in the line, a break in the police line, and the protesters do get past them. Moments later, this cop decides that this guy's flag needs to be confiscated. I mean, it doesn't look like it's being used as a weapon, but I mean, and this guy seems like a reasonable guy, but apparently it was too dangerous for him to be able to have. So the officer decides he wants to take it from him. Whilst taking it from him, the police officer knocks the guy to the ground, and then already on the ground, the cop comes back to him and pushes him over again, just to add insult to injury. And then this girl gets shoved down as well. Like, this is not an effective crowd control method, I don't think. This is not the way to keep the crowd calm. The only reason I can see for this kind of brutality is to piss the crowd off, to antagonize them, to instigate a riot. Had the police anywhere in America treated Antifa or especially BLM like this, using these aggressive tactics, it would be written about in the newspapers, discussed on the news networks, and protested over the course of months, maybe even years. There would be
Yeah, I don't disagree there. So here's more in context, the full video. I'll kind of put the volume at a reasonable level. Let's just take a look. So this is right after they pushed her first time. No, sorry, not even. There it is. Because on the far top right, you can see the scaffolding. So I'm thinking this has to be right around that we're talking about. So this is before they even were there, and to me, this seems like what could have been the inciting incident.
Maybe, yeah,
or very close to. I mean, the type of Then I think right after this happened, it would be interesting to get the timeline, because right here it says 1426, but I don't know if that's correct, because wasn't most of this, wouldn't this have been at 1 o'clock, 1:26?
Yeah.
I'm not sure about that. It says -5 on it. So TN, where am I missing on my timestamp skills?
No, it's 2 p.m.
Okay.
-5 makes it East versus that's -5 from UTC.
Okay. Okay, so that's just.
I mean, if the clock is set correctly, which I presume it would be, that's 2:26:43 where you have it stopped.
That's likely not the inciting incident if it's that late.
Yeah, because I think 107 was another one where the guy got shot with a rubber bullet through the face.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, I saw something right here. It's a phone. It's a phone. No, no, that's not a phone. That's spray. Top, middle. Over the guy in the brown jacket to the left. That's spray.
Yeah.
Step back! Everyone back! Step back! Keep going! Get down on the steps! Get down on the fucking steps! It's not that much to ask! You're on the wrong side, man! You're on the Step back on the fucking steps! What? Keep going! Yo, keep going! Do it down there! Keep going! That's it. You guys need to feel it. Oh, this is ours now. Let it go. Yo. Get up and keep going.
And they love to hit women. I tell
So
you
what I saw here is you had people that were on the sides. They have to come down this way towards the steps, and as they're doing that to go down, as they're asking them to do, they're pushing them down the steps. Like, because they're clearly coming from, if you look to the center, in the just to the right of the center of the frame here, on both sides, and then behind this guy too, they're kind of coming in from somewhere, filing from somewhere to try to comply in some way with where, I guess, because right over here to the center left would be that area where they had the bike racks, and the police were there, and those are the ones with the guy lobbing the grenades. That's where his positioning would have been about.
Yeah.
So yeah. So anyway, so the more this comes out, the more it looks like that there was a provocation, and it was not like a planned insurrection or whatever. This was clearly people that were protesting, were in places where they maybe shouldn't have been due to people breaching the barricades initially, like people like Ray Epps and others, people cutting down signs and moving what had been the approved protest area, and appears to have been orchestrated in some manner, not necessarily like where this is absolutely going to happen, but they definitely created the circumstances for it to happen.
Yeah. No, it definitely feels like a setup from many different angles.
I mean, now that we have a little bit more of this stuff, I really want to try to get. I think these people are already doing that work. There's that group that's trying to put together this documentary with a timeline, and as soon as they get done with that, I think we'll know a lot more about this and there, because they're going through and doing it with timestamps and things like that. So I'm really interested to see that one, because once that comes out and they can be able to spread that, it's going to blow that narrative apart, and it should be just in time, right before this bullshit January 6th trial. Because this is why they're trying with Jack Smith. They're trying to keep all of this stuff as being the reason why they're charging him for wanting to challenge the election.
Yep. No, this is the timing of this stuff coming out couldn't be actually more perfect. So I agree. I think that as this gets kind of combed through more, this is going to get exposed more and more about the nature of that day, and it should play to Donald Trump's favor big time, and the entire MAGA movement. He's been framed and set up and slandered and just completely lied about by the mainstream media for the last 3 years over this. Should be vindicated as well. Let's go ahead and take care of our sponsors, and then we got lots more to get into here throughout the show. First sponsor today is Earth Garden Botanicals. We love Earth Garden Botanicals, a wonderful company up in Montana run by Jolene. She's an herbalist and a health coach. She makes these wellness products. They're fantastic. You got everything here, from CBD oil to other CBD and hemp products, like edible Delta 8 nighttime gummies for a good night's sleep, topical cream, arnica salve topical cream for sore joints and muscles. You can get that with or without CBD infused, all kind of great stuff. There's CBD oil for pets as well. There you have your fire cider for clearing your sinuses and breathing more clearly. Elderberry tonic is a great concoction to boost your immune system. Really good to have if you have a cold coming on. If you like drinking teas, check out any of the 4 different tea blends Jolene offers here. They're all fantastic. And of course, the critter juice, the all-natural insect repellent, keeping the mosquitoes and bugs away. I know it's getting kind of cold in a large part of our viewing demographic here, large part of the country. Probably doesn't need this right now, but it's good to have on hand. Those of you down in the southern part of the country, probably still dealing with the mosquitoes and whatnot. This stuff is super effective in keeping them away. I swear by it. All these products are available for 20% off using promo code 412. That's double the normal discount till the end of the year. Normally it's only 10%. Right now you're getting 20% off using promo code 412. So go and load up the cart, buy some gifts, get yourself all situated for the winter. There's all kind of great stuff here. And again, 20% off using promo code 412. Also, we have our friends over at Integral Networks, integralnetworks.com. This company is amazing. They're a third-party IT provider up in the Northwest. They serve the entire United States. They are as America first as it gets. They help companies and organizations of all sizes and situations save time, effort, and money on their IT systems. They do a wonderful job with a number of their different services, like the Integral Secure Workspace, which is really clever, basically allowing you as an IT administrator to set up your users' desktops virtually on a secure Integral Network server. And there's a few major advantages you get from that. One, you get the control from, centrally, you get the, take care of software updates, applications, things like that. Anything that your users would need, you can kind of make sure that's all set up and ready to go, because you're able to manage that from the server. The other major advantage to this is it allows you to keep your data more secure and safe, because it only lives on the server rather than on individuals' machines and laptops, desktops, whatever. They just access their data or the company data on the Integral Secure Workspace rather than carrying it around with them. It's far more secure when you talk about network security for your business. They have a whole lot of other lot of services as well that they do, whether it's data backup and recovery, cybersecurity. If you need Cisco devices installed, they offer consultation with that. You know, if you have a big commercial network, some of that hardware can be very, very tricky to get installed and set up. So they help with that. They do it all. I mean, pretty much anything you would expect a help desk within a office building to do. These guys come in and do it. And what's really great is you don't need to build out all that infrastructure of a help desk. It's more of a plug and play solution. Great way of, like I said, saving time, energy, and money on your IT systems. Their phone number is 916-626-4000. You can visit them at integralnetworks.com. If you do decide to get in touch with them, please let them know that you heard about Integral Networks on 412 Productions. So those are our two wonderful sponsors today. Big thank you to everybody out there who supports our sponsors and keeps, taking advantage of that America First parallel economy. So we talked about January 6th here in the first part of the show before sponsors, and it was a good segue because I've got this coming in from the Gateway Pundit. Trump lawyers file motion for discovery in Jack Smith case, demanding documents regarding informants and undercover agents related to January 6th. So this is getting very interesting. So Trump's attorneys filed a motion for discovery. Just read that. Says, please provide all documents regarding informants, cooperators, undercover agents, representatives, or anyone acting in similar capacity on behalf of or at the behest of the Department of Justice or any law enforcement agency who is present at or within 5 miles of the United States Capitol on January 6, 2021, Trump's lawyers wrote in this 9-page discovery letter. Trump's trial date for Jack Smith's January 6 case is currently scheduled for March 4th, 2024. Jack Smith's indictment of Trump could backfire if Trump's team gets some of the documents in its discovery request. Trump's attorney said in last week's motion, we have found many redacted documents in the discovery production. The Gateway Pundit has reported numerous times on suspected federal agents like Ray Epps who infiltrated the January 6 crowd. Michael Waller, a senior analyst for strategy at the Center for Security Policy, specializing in propaganda, political warfare, psychological warfare, and subversion, said he was at the Capitol on January 6th and witnessed
seriously, what is going on with Gateway Pundit and their ad placement here? This is absolutely, I don't even know what to make of this. I mean,
I don't know, man. I just ignore them. I swear to God, I don't even see them. Like when I do these anymore, I just kind of black them out subconsciously. But yeah, they're super obnoxious. All right, so there were plainclothes militant aggressive men in Donald Trump MAGA gear at a front police line at the base of the temporary presidential inauguration platform. Agent provocateurs scattered groups of men, exhorting the marchers to gather closely and tightly toward the center of the outside of the Capitol building and prevent them from leaving. Fake Trump protesters, a few young men wearing Trump or MAGA hats backward, and who did not fit in with the rest of the crowd in terms of their actions and demeanor, whom I presume to be Antifa or other leftist agitators, and disciplined uniform column of attackers, a column of organized, disciplined men wearing similar but not identical camouflage uniforms and black gear, some with helmets and GoPro cameras, or wearing subdued Punisher skull patches. Antifa terrorists also infiltrated the Capitol protest. Trump supporters were blamed for all the violence and chaos at the Capitol on January 6th, but according to a former FBI agent, Antifa terrorists infiltrated the Trump rally. Via investigative reporter Paul Sperry, former FBI agent on the ground at the U.S. Capitol, just texted me and confirmed that at least one busload of Antifa thugs infiltrated peaceful Trump demonstrators as part of a false Trump flag operation. Over the summer, Tucker Carlson said he interviewed the chief of police who was at the Capitol on January 6th and in charge of security that day. Quote, I interviewed the chief of Capitol Police, Stephen Sund, in an interview that was never aired on Fox, by the way. I was fired before it could air. I'm going to interview him again, Tucker said. But Stephen Sund was totally non-political, worked for Nancy Pelosi. I mean, this was not some right-wing activist. He was the chief of the Capitol Police on January 6th. And he said, oh, yeah, that crowd was filled with federal agents. Tucker continued, as time passed, it became more and more obvious that the core claims they made about January 6th were lies. Let's see how long this is. It might be kind of narrow. That's 8 minutes long. We're not going to do that right now. But so Trump's lawyers are demanding discovery of documents relevant to the undercover nature of some of these people in the crowd. So kind of fits right along with what you were showing there, Pinata. Yep. Any other thoughts on that? Good, Tien.
What do you bet the counter is? Not relevant.
That's going to be the counter. Just
we're holding you accountable for January 6th, but it's not relevant what we were doing on January 6th.
Yeah. We're only interested in destroying the reputation of America first and Donald Trump.
Exactly.
Anything else isn't really relevant to what we're doing.
And that's why the timing of the videos is quite interesting.
Yeah, it really is.
I'm not saying it's coordinated. I can't say that it's coordinated, but it certainly is timely.
It really is. It really is. So, yeah, I look forward to seeing if Donald Trump ends up getting, or his defense team ends up getting this stuff, and what kind of implications that'll have on the case and on public opinion of January 6th going forward, which the public opinion of it's already, leaning towards false flag operation. If you believe
the good thing that I saw this today, because I don't know, and sometimes I don't have the time, or I know I'm going to get replies and they're going to be like, oh, you ran away from the argument. So sometimes I don't even comment on leftist threads. And so someone had basically parroted the exactly the phrase, which is what so someone said something. I said I put an Austin Powers thing. It was like whoop-de-doo, like it was a riot. Oh, look, a riot. And that's it, just to try to troll bait. And they go, and someone says, an insurrection led by an outgoing president, his associates, and his Proud Boy brown shirts. And I said, let me guess, he told them to, quote, stand back and stand by. And then this guy says, I don't know what he told them in undisclosed communications. I do know that he told stand back and stand by to the Proud Boys. And then I said, that's my point. All you know is the propaganda phrase. And that's the good thing about this, is that the media has put these people into a box as far as what they understand about this. And they've been saying the same thing. And we've seen this with other topics. Once they figure out and something spreads and is contradictory to that, to the point where it makes no sense, it's going to flip them. They're not going to say, oh, I support Trump, but they're going to be like, oh shit, they'll figure out some other way to justify it. Like this person did, is say, are you, and they change it up and they say, are you saying the Proud Boys acted independently? And I'm saying, yes, no commands or plans were communicated from anyone associated with Trump. That's it.
Yeah.
And then they come back and they say, as far as you know. And I said, of course I know. They charged these people. They went through and had discovery of all their electronic communications. Nothing even close to that was even found. And if there had been anything remotely close to it, at best, what did they have? They had the Oath Keepers and the Proud Boys sometimes called the FBI tip line or the Secret Service tip line ahead of time to see what was allowable, what was not. Somebody said that they may know the text phone number for Ron Johnson. That's it. That's as far as they even got close. And all the ways that they looked, and all their little electronic tentacles, and all the different stuff that they pulled, nothing even close to it.
Yep.
But that's all they know, is that, oh, he told them to stand back and stand by. Oh, really? Well, who asked him to say that? Oh, it was Biden, and the moderator asked him to say that.
Yeah.
Asked him to say something.
Yeah. Yeah, the whole thing. It's that stand
I
back and
just
stand by is the same in the exact same lane as like good people on both sides.
yes.
They love to take these things and oh, we got you, we got the sound bite, and then they use it incessively just over and over again to brainwash people. And those that want to hate Donald Trump will cling on to it for dear life because to them that is the smoking gun, hardcore evidence that Donald Trump is indeed not just Hitler, but even scarier than. So
Yeah, it's double Hitler. Or when are we going to get the quadruple? It's like it's by the time election time. So Tian, on Friday, Adel and I were talking, and I was like, this can't go any further. How much more can it really escalate? And it seems as though that could have been why Trump was baiting them into this, because where are they going to go from here? There's no room. Like I said, and I was making the joke on Friday, and reprising that for you, Tian, was like, what is it going to be? Double Hitler? Like,
yeah, it's like the Animal House, like double secret probation or whatever.
Yes. Yeah. I don't know. They just seem to find ways to push the buttons, and Trump just keeps basically bringing it on even further, right? No matter where they go, he kind of ups the ante. It kind of reminds me of there's a scene in Clear and Present Danger where the president's the president's son is sorry, the president's friend is caught laundering money for the cartels. Gee, that sounds familiar. And the guy says, well, what do I say? Deny it, deny it. Everybody's telling him deny it. And Jack Ryan says, no, give him no way. Just tell him he was a good friend. And if they tell you if he was your good friend, you just say he was my best friend, and upping it up every time, because then they have nowhere to go. That's exactly what Trump is doing. Every time they come up with something, he ups the ante one more, and then they come up with it and he ups the ante again. Right?
It's a lot of fun
now, right?
Yeah, because that's what we were talking about on Friday, Tian. It's like he's got them going full Hitler
a year out,
a year ahead of the election. So like where do you go from he's full out Hitler? Like if that seems like a crescendo to me. Like that's where you want to be a week before the election. Is just reaching that fever pitch. They're doing it at a time.
They should have started with Pol Pot. At least they would have to teach people who that was. That would have led up to Hitler.
Completely absurd.
It was like Pol Pot, then Stalin, then Hitler. Oh, okay, now I understand.
Oh my God.
I did have another thing out of. I don't know if you want to do it on the other side, but I have the dumbest comment that I've ever heard from Farron Cousins.
Oh, we'll use that as a teaser to the other side of the show here. So if you guys want to hear the dumbest comment ever that Pinata is referencing, we're gonna do that on the other side of the break. We're gonna in about 10 minutes. We're gonna go exclusively on to pilled.net, and we'll play that then. So just so you guys know, those of you guys watching on Rumble, YouTube, DLive, CloudHub, and Twitter, we will be turning off those platforms probably a little less than 10 minutes even, and do the second half of today's show exclusively on pilled.net. So we appreciate all you guys who jump over and continue hanging out with us and continue being part of the show in the second half. Those links to do that are in the description below on Rumble and on YouTube. I'll throw the channel link in the live chats as well for you guys on Rumble and YouTube and DLive. I'll throw it in the DLive chat too.
And if you just want to watch and you don't necessarily want to chat, you do not have to create an account to do it.
Yeah, that's true. It's very, very seamless to get over and start watching. If you use the link I just put in the chats, it makes it very, very easy for you guys. And we got a lot of good stuff to talk about in the second half of the show too. So hope you guys come over. Those of you already watching on pilled.net, be sure to repost the show and hit that red pill button. That repost button is like a retweet. It's right below the red and blue pills, those circular symbols. You could do it with your own comment or just simply repost the show, but that's super, super helpful. Also share the link wherever you're watching too. That's always very helpful as well. All right. Let me run through a couple more quick things here, and then we will take a quick break and go exclusively into the comfy bunker. Trump's legal team clashes with DOJ over motions to dismiss. So former President Donald Trump's legal team filed several responses on November 22nd, insisting that U.S. District Court Judge Tanya Chutkan dismiss the Department of Justice's prosecution because they argued the Biden administration selectively and vindictively targeted him while abusing its statutory authority and seeking to violate multiple constitutional protections. The three filings represent the latest in a series of pretrial submissions prompted by President Trump's various motions to dismiss the case. Besides leveling constitutional, statutory, and selective prosecution allegations, the former president has also argued that the case should be dismissed due to the protection he received under the doctrine of presidential immunity. The November 22nd filings, however, center on constitutional provisions surrounding double jeopardy, free speech, and due process, as well as purported evidence of a selective prosecution directed by President Joe Biden, the presumptive Democratic nominee, and President Trump's chief rival for the White House in 2024. Quote, the prosecution seeks to install itself as America's censor with roving authority to criminally prosecute all who speak out against its approved narratives, reads a filing from President Trump's legal team. The prosecution has no such mandate. Accordingly, the indictment is unconstitutional on its face and must be dismissed. Additionally, even if the First Amendment permitted charges on this basis, which it emphatically does not, President Trump's acquittal before the United States Senate forecloses retrial before this court, as do the Constitution's guarantees of due process and fair notice. Competing interpretations of the First Amendment have been central to the motions to dismiss the DOJ's case, as President Trump's attorneys allege the various aspects of the indictment stem from core political speech protected under the U.S. Constitution. Moreover, his attorneys argued he shouldn't be charged because he was not given fair notice that his conduct would violate the law. DOJ has defended its indictment on November 6th by alleging that President Trump's legal team had misrepresented their indictment, which targeted purportedly fraudulent and deceptive speech not protected by the First Amendment. Quote, the allegations that the defendant sought to overturn the results of the 2020 presidential election by resorting to fraud, deceit, and corruption places conduct well outside the protections afforded by the First Amendment, and likewise put him fully on notice that his conduct was criminal and thus subject to prosecution, the DOJ wrote in a combined opposition to President Trump's motions to dismiss on statutory and constitutional grounds. Quote, finally, the defendant's prior acquittal in the Senate trial following his impeachment in the House does not foreclose his criminal prosecution, and his particular reliance on the double jeopardy clause is frivolous. And I think they're actually right about that, because double jeopardy means you can't be charged criminally for the same crime twice. And a Senate trial isn't a criminal trial. It's a political process. So I don't think double jeopardy applies. So they might actually be right about that. President Trump's motion to dismiss for selective and vindictive prosecution leverages media reporting about Biden administration's interest in the former president's conduct and alleges that special counsel Jack Smith served as a stalking horse for President Biden. Quote, despite all of the special counsel's self-aggrandizing comments about the supposedly unprecedented nature of his manufactured allegations against President Trump, the truly unprecedented aspect of this case is that sitting president successfully urged the Department of Justice to try to take down his chief political rival and now the leading candidate to be the next president, President Trump's legal team wrote in the November 22nd filing. President Biden was so successful, in fact, that the special counsel brought two deeply flawed cases against President Trump and has engaged in a reckless effort to proceed to trial in both as soon as possible, even while President Biden anxiously waits to learn whether he will be charged with crimes by a different special counsel. And I'll leave that there, but just some of the back and forth betwixt the two legal teams, the DOJ, Jack Smith and his special counsel versus Donald Trump and his attorneys there. So I don't know if you guys have any comment on that. I've got one more quick update I want to do before we go into the second half festivities here. So let's go ahead and do that. Gag order reveals partisan nature of trial, Trump attorneys argue. So this is a civil trial in New York, I believe. Attorneys for former President Donald Trump in a civil fraud case against him in New York State filed a 1,902-page brief on November 27th, arguing that a gag order issued in the case should be lifted because the judge's allegedly unlawful conduct. The lengthy document references a motion requesting a mistrial and the judge's and state attorney's responses to it. The gag orders shield Justice Engoron and his potentially partisan clerk from the precise scrutiny essential to maintaining public confidence in the judiciary and ensuring a fair trial, the new filing reads. Quote, Supreme Court has ignored with impunity clear and troubling evidence of partisan political bias and in doing so undermined perhaps irreparably the rule of law. The New York Supreme Court Justice Arthur Engoron, presiding over the bench trial that began on October 2nd, had issued a gag order on October 3rd, prohibiting the former president from speaking about the judge's staff. Trump attorneys have argued in the court that the judge's principal law clerk has an undue influence on the bench. In court filings, they elaborated that her previous campaign for a judicial position in Manhattan Civil Court gave them reason to believe that she was taking a partisan approach to the law. President Trump has already been fined 15 grand for violating the gag order and has paid the fines. Defense attorneys described the judge's gag order as a brazen and unmitigated violation of the U.S. and New York state constitutions, as well as rules governing the judiciary. Quote, the notion that an openly and overtly partisan individual would have any role in the decision-making process of this is unprecedented case runs squarely counter to the foundational principles of American judicial independence and the constitutional guarantee of a fair trial, the memo reads. And it gets into some of the insinuations about the law clerk, which many of you guys probably are already very
I
aware.
wonder if you could go to that courtroom, see Letitia James on her phone, hit send, look up, and how fast that clerk would look down at her phone.
Yeah, I bet it would be very, very quick. And to that point, Pinata, I just saw this today. This is video of Allison Greenfield. This is Judge Engoron's law clerk in question, attending the Democrat event campaigning for Letitia James. We won't watch this whole thing. It's 3 minutes long. In fact, I'll even kind of turn the volume down. If you have more you want to say, Pinata, you can kind of talk over it.
Greenfield's voice is audible, conveying criticism towards President Trump and his supporters. Greenfield can be heard expressing, Biden will be remembered as the greatest president ever. The video released shows close-up shots of Greenfield capturing the moment with her camera.
So proud of this administration. I am really there to say that Joe Biden will be remembered as one of the most consequential and transformative presidents in the United States. Yes.
Anyway, there's no way this woman should be sitting where she's sitting and playing the role she's playing within the trial.
You know what's funny is when they use these words, you have to. It's like respect. You know, when Donna Brazil used the word respect, and this person uses the word most consequential. Mm-hmm. She's right. You have to think of it. Their double meaning, not double meaning. Their use of the word.
Yep.
Consequential means the consequences. One would think of it in the positive light, but not if you're trying to destroy something. Then the consequential is when you're successful at destroying.
Yep. Absolutely. All right. So if there's more to say on this, we're going to have to do it on the other side of the break. I'm a little bit late on switching over, so we have to go ahead and do that now. So those of you guys watching on Rumble, YouTube, DLive, CloudHub, and Twitter, please come join us over on pilled.net for the second half of today's show. Pinata's got some interesting stuff he wants to show on the other side. I've got a ton of other items I want to get into as well, going all over the place. We got some border stuff. We got some COVID, CDC, Pfizer stuff that's pretty interesting. Big stuff coming out of the Middle East too. It looks like the Bidens have got their hands, or the Biden administration has their hands caught in the Hamas cookie jar. which is interesting too. So lots of big stuff breaking today, and we're going to cover a lot of it here exclusively on pilled.net. I'll put the links in the description, or I'm sorry, the links are already in the Rumble description and YouTube description. I'm putting them in the chats as well for you guys. If you want to come over and keep watching with us, please do. They're in D Live, they're on Rumble, and I'll put it in the YouTube chat as well. So there you go. We're going to play a quick video, come back on the other side, say goodbye to our other platforms, and then hang out exclusively on pilled.net. We'll be right back.
Pilled.net is proud to host 412 Productions, exclusively on the true home of free speech. To continue watching the show, we are here to help you over to Pilled. If you're new to the platform, just click on the welcome link provided. It will then automatically walk you through signing up for your free account. If you already have a Pilled.net account, follow the link provided directing you straight to 412 Productions channel. We are excited to have you join the Pilled family, and if you have any questions at all, please email support@pilled.net. Enjoy the rest of 412 Productions on Pilled.net. Free speech lives here.
All right, everybody. Thank you to everybody jumping over and joining us in the second half. For the second half of the show on pilled.net. You have no idea how much it means to me. You guys take that little extra effort to jump over and keep watching the show. If you're not going to jump over, no hard feelings, but this is where we say goodbye. So we'll catch you guys on the flip side tomorrow at 4 p.m. Eastern time. We've got Craig Mason tomorrow, and then 45-1 actual on Wednesday. Thursday's taking it back. Friday is going to be Ben and Tina Garrison, I believe. So we've got a loaded week of shows. So if it's goodbye for today, hopefully we'll catch you guys on tomorrow's show. But we go on for about another hour over on pilled.net. I hope to see you guys over there. If not, catch you guys on the flip side. Bye, everybody.